my channel, mother suckers. Yes, my face is baking. Let me say it again. I'm baking right now. Even with that public service announcement, there's still gonna be somebody that's like, oh, what's on your face? So it is what it is, girl. If you are new to my channel, welcome to Lolo Land. I am Eloho, your favorite unicorn in the whole entire universe. This is Spacey the baby because Spacey keeps falling, so I gotta carry him. That's the OG Pigacorn, period poo. Pigga gives his commentary as well. I just wanted to come on here and talk about a topic relating to Cardi B and how all of a sudden she's black. I would love for my Dominican subscribers, my Puerto Rican subscribers, my Latin subscribers, I would love for you guys to add your input into the comment section as well, because I really want to know, how do you guys feel about this? Like, I know how I feel as someone who is black, is undeniably black, unambiguous, beautifully black. That's my card. That's gonna always be my card. If if I'm ever in a situation and someone has to identify me, that's gonna be my card. She was a black African-American woman, 5'10", 140 pounds. Like, this is what's gonna be my card. I've discussed this on my channel about people who use the black card when it's convenient and disrespect and disregard the black card when it's not. So as always, let's have a conversation about it. She gonna fall in a few seconds, but it's all right. Now, I saw Cardi's rant. Where's my mirror? Hold on. I saw Cardi's rant about, Afro Latina, and she was basically saying, her features aren't white features, therefore they're black features. Cardi, the way she communicates is hilarious to me, because again, I'm from New York, she's from New York, and I know a lot of people that talk like her. I don't know them personally, don't get it twisted. I don't know them personally. I see them if I'm on the train, I hear it, it's usually high school kids. But how y'all feel about the chocolate lip? Should I do like a color to kind of bring everything out? I know my eyes are bright, right top, skin is chocolate. So how do y'all feel about the chocolate lip? Should I keep the chocolate lip or should I do another lip? Cardi is definitely somebody that I actually really want to like. Like, she is low-key relatable. You know what I mean? She has the Cinderella story. Now, before I start, let me say this. It's a lot of people on this here YouTube, okay, that really be all the way angry on YouTube. And I can guarantee you that in real life, they're probably not like that, and I just want to say, like, don't let, even myself, like, don't let people just 100% dictate your life, your happiness, what you believe, who you stand for, who you support, etc. Because a lot of people that's on here angry every single day, I mean, I'm pretty sure they could be canceling Cardi B on YouTube, and then in real life, they download every Cardi B song. So I'm just saying, you just never know. I look so scrumptious. Yo, look, sidebar. Walking yesterday, I'm crossing the street. Some dude stick his head out the backseat of the car. He was like, you look the fuck good, chocolate. I was like, period. Welcome back to Brooklyn. That was my welcome back to Brooklyn, okay? You ain't getting that in Hollywood. I'm just saying. So I saw her rant and she was talking about Afro Latinas. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong. Like, what I thought Afro Latinas was literally black people that spoke Spanish, like black people that were born in Latin America. Like, that's literally what I thought. Okay, it says the term Afro-Latina or Afro-Latinx is used to describe descendants of Latin America with African roots. Simply put, black Latinos. Yeah, that's what I thought. Let me click on images. Really interesting. I think this is kind of whack. These pictures are of light-skinned women and Amara La Negra. So Google, you need to update your little search situation here. I read this article from Hip Latina. I'm also gonna have it here somewhere so you guys can read with me. And it says, it took a while for people, including Latinos, to accept, embrace, and fully understand the term Afro-Latino or Latina. Racial identity in our own community is especially complex due in large part of our Spanish colonial history. For centuries, Latinos were conditioned to embrace their European ancestry and deny their African and indigenous roots. which makes such a big part of who we are. Not just DNA-wise, but culturally too. The term Afro Latina refers to a Latina of African descent, and it's also not exclusive to Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, and Cubans. According to Pew Research, there are Afro Latinos throughout Latin America, including Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil. Y'all, fun fact, Brazil actually has the largest Black population outside of Africa. Okay, the poster child for Brazil, like, you would never think of an African. You would never think of anyone with African features. Yet, that's majority of the population. That makes no sense to me. Let's keep reading. There are Afro-Latinos throughout Latin America, including Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil, and Ecuador, with much smaller percentages in remaining countries in Central and South America. It's only been in recent years that we've really digested the term, which is why there's still so much pain and ignorance around it. So of course, there are even more questions surrounding more recent term Latinas are currently using as an identifier. Afro-Indigenous Latina. It says, I think Afro-Indigenous and Latina might be mutually exclusive politically speaking, but let's consider the implications of putting these three political locations' identities together. What we might be referring to is the desire to identify the ways in which people are of African descent, indigenous descent, and from places and geographies that were established through Spanish and Portuguese imperialization. This is why I say that it might be that Afro-Indigenous and Latina are mutually exclusive. Girl, yes, okay? Because honestly, I myself have been looking for a term and, you know, just doing research on this and looking for a term that could that could just more specifically identify them. And I feel like identity is a really big topic, and people all over the world to a certain extent struggle with identity. How can I identify myself? How do other people identify me as? And you know, people get mad at me and be like, oh, all you talk about is blackness and black and black. Well, first of all, I am a pro-black channel. Second of all, I didn't create this shit, okay? I think that this term, Afro-Indigenous Latina, I think that that's the category that Cardi B falls in. And, you know, women that kind of look like Cardi B, that's the category that they fall in, where it's kind of like, okay, obviously you're not white. You do have very Africanoid features, but you also have indigenous features, you know, and I see that in a lot of my Dominican friends. Like, they look so indigenous and beautiful. Like, I'm gonna post a picture of one of my best friends. Her name is Marcy. I'm gonna post a picture of her. Like, she looks so indigenous to me. It's beautiful. Like, I just be like, oh my God. Like, she's clearly not a white Latina, but she's also not like Afro Latina. You know what I'm trying to say? Put this to the side. Now let's get into this tea, honey. Stacey, you gotta sit down. Using my Makeup Forever powder, girl. Powder is on my best friend. I do not play. Now, if you are someone who's like really dry, you probably won't need as much powders as me. But as you can see, the powders take away the shine, keeps me beat. The reason why I personally feel like Cardi B went on this rant and started saying that she's black, Spacey just fell, is because she won, you know, BET awards. Child, when black people can't even win an award for being black and talented, I don't know. Now, we do know that BET is no longer black owned, and there's always an agenda. No shade, no tea. When other people take over, it's always an agenda, and the agenda is erasure, in my opinion. Honey, there's always an agenda. Know that. You see, I'm giving y'all a profile because this is like giving me like, anywho. So like Cardi B did that, oh, I'm black, and y'all always trying to like put me in a category or take me out of a category. I'm black. I feel like she did that because people were coming for her for winning a BET award. And it's like, dang, like, but she's not black. She's winning a Black Entertainment Award. She's winning awards in categories in which, is it really fair for a non-black person to win a black award? Now that's what happens when you claim everybody as black, okay? You claim everybody as black, and they're gonna win an award over your black ass. because it was actually one of the first times that I actually saw Cardi B really say like, oh, I'm Afro Latina, which basically means I'm a black person that speaks Spanish and that was born in Latin America. That's basically what that means. Now, I've never heard Cardi identify as that. And I'm gonna go even further to say I've never heard in New York City, in my experience, I've actually never heard a Spanish speaking person from Latin, from Latin America say that they're black. And in cases where you would say, oh, you're black, or are you black? They would say no. Like, they would be my color, look just like me, and you would ask them, are they black? And they would say no. Now, growing older, I learned that they the term black, they think of it as being black American. But I didn't say, are you black American? I said, are you black? And if you ask them, are they African? They're definitely going to say no as well. So, I mean, either way, it was still like the denial of African roots. Amara La Negra was not the first to start this, but Amara definitely brought the conversation into mainstream media, and it's kind of one of the reasons why we're talking about this right now. Amara brought being Afro Latina to the forefront, and as you can tell, when she was on Love and Hip Hop and she was talking about her being an Afro Latina, even the other Latinos did not know what that meant.
It's curly hair, right? Isn't it just curly hair?
Well,
I'm not trying to...
the more he talks,
let me ask
the more he digs himself.
I just don't understand how a hair, it is what it is. I ain't never heard of no Afro Latinos. Okay, well, we are Afro Latinos then now. Let's do the Afro Latino move. I'm not the only one that's going everywhere like, what is this? Ain't nobody heard of that before. Because everybody's going crazy off skin colorism. I never, like, that's to me. I don't see no difference between anybody.
What are you saying?
Same way. My parents are both black, and they're born in Cuba, but they're of African descent. Latino means that we're of African descent. Black African people weren't just dropped off in America. They were dropped off.
She had to school other Dominicans on what it meant to be an Afro-Latina. I don't know if he was being ignorant or he was acting ignorant or he actually really did not know. And I feel like, kind of like because this topic now it's bringing up other people to maybe do more research, maybe ask their parents more questions, find out the history of the islands and how mixed the islands really are. When Amara La Negra spoke up, Cardi B never really spoke up. Like, she never really said anything. I remember her sister kind of went off and was like, oh, Cardi has nappy hair as well, you know what I mean? And I was just kind of like, what's your point? I don't get it. Hennessy kind of felt the way when Amara was asked the question, and she was like, do you feel like Cardi B, what they asked her, they said, do you feel like Cardi B made it because she's light-skinned? And Amara just smiled and she didn't say anything. In that moment, Cardi B could have spoke out. And Cardi B knows, like, y'all don't have to admit it. Like, y'all don't have to admit it if y'all don't want to. Or y'all could think that this is not true. But even Cardi B knows that being light-skinned gives her a leg up. She knows that. She's admitted it in many conversations.
Well, yeah, I mean, you actually talked about in one of your interviews that you feel like that dark-skinned girls don't get praised by society as much as light-skinned girls.
Yes, it's true. Have you ever been to a strip club in New York? It's kind of sad. Do you know that right now in the strip club in New York, the bartenders are the new thing right now? And if you notice, they don't even hire black bartenders in New York City strip club. I'll say like in a white strip club, you know what I'm saying, a strip club in downtown. And it's like, I always love my skin complexion, that I noticed that the Russian and the white girls was making more money than color girls or a girl like me. I love my color. If anything, sometimes I want to look even darker. But it just make you feel, sometimes it make you feel like, damn, you're not even good enough. And then when I went to the urban clubs, the clubs in the hood, I started to feel like, damn, I'm not thick enough. Like, now I gotta get my ass done. I have dated guys that they're black. And they have told me, like, I don't date black girls. And it's like, I be telling them, but you're black, but your mom is black. You don't think that's weird? And then they tell me, well, you don't date Spanish guys, right? And I say, no, I don't. I date black guys. And it's like, so it's a preference thing.
It's across the board. It's beauty. It's the standard. It goes across the board, okay? Lighter skinned people do have more privilege, and she admitted that. So I don't understand when someone else says it, Why is it that, oh, you're being divisive? Oh, no, you're just not as talented. Or, oh, no, it's not because of that. It's because of this. Nobody's saying that she only made it because she's light-skinned. Nobody's saying that she was only the most popular stripper because she was light-skinned. But being light-skinned, it got her hired. It probably got her more stage time. You know, that's the ideal beauty. It probably got her more money. Of course, on top of that, obviously, she had to know how to walk in the heels. She had to know how to dance. You know what I'm trying to say? So those things come secondary. And as we know, Cardi B does not write her own music. She's very entertaining. We can't take that away from her. She has a personality. People love her. She's very entertaining. She's real and down to earth. So it's the whole package. But being light-skinned, that's what will get your car pulled first for success. Period. You don't have to believe it. The girl said it herself. I'm not going to argue with nobody about that. Again, Cardi did not speak up when Amara said that. Cardi could have even collaborated with Amara. Like, y'all both from the Dominican Republic. Show your solidarity. Show, like, yeah, we both from the same island. She might be darker than me. Her features might be more African than mine, but this is my sis. Like, we gonna do this together because we both black and we're both from the Dominican Republic. You know, maybe even go back to DR, do concerts there. I don't know. I just like for people to just... I mean, kind of, but I understand how, you know, it's the industry, it's a competition. But at the same time, it's like, if you want to now claim black, what have you done? What have you given? What have you said to show your solidarity? Like, and again, I don't know everything that she does behind the scenes. You know, she says she gives to schools and does concerts in schools, and that's great. But Cardi, the same way that you put everything else in everybody's face and you always ranting and you always talking, like, show off the good things that you do. Don't only show off your awards. Don't only show off, oh, the Shade Room don't like me. But say this, listen, this is what I'm being a part of. I'm a part of this such and such foundation. You know, we're going to be doing a concert in this school. We're giving back to this school in the Bronx or New York. We're going to be doing this. Like, we want to see all of it. We don't just want to see the music stuff. We want to see the everyday life stuff. We want to see you giving back. We want to see you, we want to see all of that. Why put everything else to the forefront except the good things that you're doing? And then you'll get mad when people say you don't do good things because we don't see it. And we only see what you want us to see. So it's like, if you want us to see the good, do good and show us that you're doing the good. Rant about, oh, the island being mixed with this and mixed with that. We know that already, Cardi. Tell us something we don't know. Okay, tell us something we don't know. We know this already. We know that the islands are mixed. What we didn't know was that you, Cardi, identified as black. That you, Cardi, identified as Afro Latina, a black woman from Latin America. We didn't know that till today because from past tweets and past things that you've said, you've always identified as being Spanish. Now, Spanish is a language, but, you know, that's how a lot of Latin people identify as Spanish. Again, like I said, we can't fault them for that. Language is always changing. History is always being learned. I feel like she's more of an Afro-Indigenous Latina, aka, yes, you have some African roots. You also have indigenous roots, and I feel like her indigenous roots might be a larger percentage than her African roots. Like I said, I don't know. I have a smidget of a gift. Like, I don't know, I could just look at you, your bone structure and things like that, your hair, your body, and your family members, and kind of like, oh, okay, cool, I see this, I see that. This is my problem. Now all of a sudden you want to claim it because it's convenient, because now you're winning black awards, and people are now saying, why is Cardi B winning black awards? She's not black. So now you want to say, yes, I am black, and that's what I don't like. Like, if I feel like, me personally, I would respect it more if she came out the gate like, just, I'm a black girl from the Bronx. I'm just a black, you know, Afro Latina from the Bronx. I'm Afro Latina from the Bronx. That's not what she said. She said, I'm a Spanish girl from the Bronx. And we all know, you use the word Spanish, that's in a lot of people's, you know, in a lot of people's terminology and everyday vocabulary, Spanish is a different category from black. Even though obviously we know now that it's not. It is, when people use it, it's a different category from black. They'll say, I'm not black, I'm Spanish. I'm not white, I'm Spanish. You know what I'm trying to say? Okay. Let me also mention that she's in an interracial relationship with Offset. Offset is black. So if you're in an interracial relationship, that means that he's one race, you're another race. He's one thing, you're something else. That's different. He's black, you're not black. If y'all are both black, how are you in an interracial relationship? That doesn't make any sense. People use the card when it's convenient. Okay, people use the car when it's convenient. Now I get what she's trying to say when she says things like, oh, you know, when people look at us, do you think they look at us different? No, they treat us all the same. To an extent, I completely agree with her, especially if you're in New York. Like, you know, a lot of the police, they don't look at you like, oh, you're Dominican, oh, you're good. Oh, no, you're Nigerian. No, like, they definitely don't nitpick it like that. And it's more of like the community. You know what I mean? When you're from a poorer community, you know, filled with quote unquote minorities, when you're from a poorer community, yes, the police will stereotype you all the same. They'll look at you all the same. And a lot of times, you know, we're all neighbors, we're all friends, you know, you his baby mama, you know, the communities are mixing. So a lot of the times, yes, we can relate very closely. Like, we can relate, we understand. But let's not act like lighter skinned Latinos and Latinas don't have some advantages that darker skinned Latinos and Latinas won't have in certain spaces. That's all we trying to say. And again, if she came out the gate like, I'm Cardi B, I'm from the Bronx, I'm an Afro Latina, I'm Dominican, da da da. Like, if she would have came out like that, I think people wouldn't have a problem pulling her race card. You know what I mean? Because she came out the gate. But to all of a sudden win a black award and then be like, well, I'm black too. That's not fair. Y'all never say that I'm black just because I speak Spanish. No, it's not about you speaking Spanish. Monica Style Muse is an Afro-Latina. She speaks Spanish all day long on her channel. Like, it's not about you speaking Spanish. Lala Milan, she's black and she speaks Spanish. It's not about the language, girl. Like, it ain't about the language, girl. It's about how you have identified and how you have separated yourself from blackness. It's also the fact that now you have a daughter with a black man, and your daughter can grow to become a lot darker. Your daughter might experience colorism being a darker girl. You know what I mean? So now, again, when people have children, when people mate with black men, and then now they have children, and these children possibly have, you know, more of their father's features, now it's like, oh, I have to kind of, like, this is my reality now. I can't say I don't like this because this is how my child looks. This is a part of my child's DNA. And of course you love your child, but a lot of times it's not until you have a child with a black person to when you now want to identify or can relate in a way. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just mad corny. I think that's just mad whack. Like, why wait until you have a kid? Like, what about other people's kids? You know what I mean? Who's out in this world being bullied, being told they're not good enough because they're not lighter, who's bleaching because they want to fit in with society and a standard of beauty. Like, what about those people's kids? Like, I'm just saying. Oh, I also saw something where someone was saying, you know, she said that her grandparents are dark, and then someone found her grandparents and they weren't even dark. Yo, I can't with the internet. Like, I just can't. Now, let me know what y'all thought about this video, honey. Make sure you thumbs up. I use 2 brushes to highlight. Highlight makes me so happy. Like, oh my god, like, who would ever create a thing like this? Oh my god. Period. Melts in. Let me know what y'all think about this topic. Cardi B finally claiming to be black. Whether you're black, white, Afro-Indigenous, Latina, let me know what you think, and I'll see you down in the comment section. Bye.